Hiya! How we doing, everybody in chat? Can you hear and see the Tale of the Toaster? That's what we'd like to know here on this fine Hakuoki day. A day in which we play Hakuoki for the Nintendo 3DS. Memories of the Shinsengumi and all of that. I got an IR from Trobel to say that I can be seen and heard. We'll wait for the rest of your squadron to drop in, of course. There's Airy Sky. We've got Ted Brower. We've got one more name, which, in all honesty, I don't think I can be caught reading within the first 2 minutes of the chat. Maybe I'll be caught a little off guard a bit later on down the stream, but for now, that's a hell of a tag. You are indeed. I am going to, before we play the game, get a little promotional tweetus going on. So I already put one out before, but now I'll quote retweet the original and say we are now live. I'm going to steal the joke from iChug in chat. Put that in there, and any retweets would be good because we'll get some people watching along. Quite a few members of the Trobel Nation are not here today, says Trobel herself. Where are they at? We had a couple on Twitter saying they were free and a couple on Twitter saying they weren't, but it's probably enough people to say it is worth having a stream because we've got everybody else from outside of that closed group. We've got Fairy watching along a little bit while doing some other things. We've got Adam, the consenting G-Saviour Stan, who was Capone. Apparently one of the Trobel folks are missing because they're at a play. That sounds like a me kind of excuse. I love going to musicals, and it's actually something that my family act in quite a lot. My dad was fairly reputable for it, to be honest, in the Yorkshire area. He would always get like the male main lead kind of characters when he was in local plays. That was why I never got into acting, despite being relatively good at it. It's because I didn't want to just copy both of my parents. My mum's still doing it to this day. She's usually just in the choir. I need to remember where my face cam is and actually look into it when I'm chatting to you. She's mainly in the choir, but she's always delighted whenever she gets a speaking line, and it's how she makes most of her friends. And even my dad met his boyfriend through acting in musicals, and even he only gave it up kind of last year-ish. He started taking the main roles for himself later down the line, and he's done fairly well with it. So I guess I'm a bit of an acting background. But the only one I ever did was playing Doody in a kids-only play of Grease, which I kind of flubbed, to be fair, but oh well, you win some, you lose some kind of thing. I still love going to musicals though, just to watch them. Like I've seen Book of Mormon, I've seen The Lion King, I've seen Les Miserables. That was for my 18th birthday actually. What else have I been to see? Heathers the Musical. Heathers the Musical is goated. And if none of yous have seen Heathers the Musical yet, well, that might be my next recommendation. Janus Greenway says, why your whole family's career choice is similar to Tom. I mean, true. Tom doesn't do any singing, though. And all of the plays that my family would act in were always specifically musicals, whereas Tom's more pure stage performance. My dad actually wrote a musical once. It was about Jason and the Argonauts, and to be honest, I should see if the files for that are still around, because it was a bloody good musical. all things considered. Just he only ever got it performed once. Oh, that camera's a little bit too high up actually for having a peek at us. Have I seen Soldat von Orange? That sounds a bit too Dutch for me to have stood a chance. But right now we've got Soji Okita. Straight away we are continuing down his path. We're currently in chapter 3. And we're just going to see how far we can get. And get ourselves in conversation with the young man. Despite his face looking pale. Yes, trick of the light, of course. Speaking of musicals, Les Dennis, Strictly Opinion. You know what, Adam? You've reminded me of another thing I went to go and see. This was a pantomime rather than a musical, but I went to see Cinderella, but specifically because it had both Les Dennis in it and the guy who played Pat Phelan in Coronation Street was there as well. So that was unmissable for me, but I was sat so far away I could barely even see. What we're saying to Soji Okita at the moment is, if you missed the last stream, he took the S gene, he's got the white hair now. It means he's no longer dying of tuberculosis, but he's sold his soul at this point eventually, and it means he can live on forever as a gremlin. But also we have found out that we are a demon anyway. Maybe we don't know that in this particular timeline. I think we learned that through the Ozrock route. Whereas at this point in time, she doesn't actually know that. She hasn't seen the state of her brother. Hopper, the other race, says thoughts on Australia. You know that I went there, right? I uploaded a freaking video from there on the 100 Steps of Federation. We thoroughly went into detail on Australia with the live tweeting and the live Instagramming from that particular country, but I had a bloody great time. Shame I was only there for a week. Janus says, are we talking about Victory Road a little? And yeah, we will. I definitely want to have a chat on Victory Road when there's a bit more downtime on the game. For now, I can handle this easy. It's not that cold. We're kind of straight into the important stuff with Okita, so we will focus on the Hakuoki for a little bit. But when we get the chance, we'll talk a little more about Victory Road, because there's been a lot of it to talk about lately. And to be honest, I'm a little bit worried, actually, that my level 99 competition route videos in Go Galaxy, which are, by the way, coming out really soon. I can give you that as a stream exclusive. We're talking possibly this month level of soon. I've just made the first 6 or 7 thumbnails for them, and they were all kind of edited in quick succession, really, because they didn't need much doing. I just hadn't started it because I was focusing on bulk recording so that I could release a lot without downtime. I didn't want to make everyone wait like 2 weeks per episode of level 99s, just purely on account of me not being able to record them regularly enough. But yeah, they're really, really happening now. But why was I on about them again? Yeah, I'm worried that in those videos I kind of talk about Victory Road as if it's not happening or as if we don't know much about it. Whereas now we well and truly do know quite a lot, all things considered. But if the videos are a little out of date, fair enough, I'll just have to hold that. It's my fault for not being able to make them faster. But yeah, I hope people enjoy that, because they are on the horizon. For now, I chose this myself. Pretty stupid of you to blame yourself. I do blame myself, because I absolutely did not want you to take that stuff, Okita. I would have rather seen you die of tuberculosis than be immortal like this. And if I just got my act together and stood in the way, then I might have been able to stop you, but hey-ho. Obviously, the actual opinion on Les Dennis is that he's a great laugh and makes me want to go on Family Fortunes. Let's see who else has joined in the meantime. We've got Kevin Boy. Janus Greenway is still knackered about. We've got Third Person here in chat. Reacting to Okita smugly talking about the water of life. In terms of your actual Trobal Nation bunch, I think it's just the 2 of them, really. So I guess they've all gone to a play. Where's the play? Is it in Newcastle? I could have gone if it was in Newcastle. You couldn't lie to a baby, Okita says to me. Well, thanks. Oh no, we got Lord Rinsler. That makes 3 of the bunch. And we've got a £2 donation from the one and only Hop-Up Enjoyer asking to play Heisuke's route in the future. I don't know if we're going to carry this game on after the Okita ending, to be honest. We've had the Ozrock ending and we've had the Okita ending. What more could we possibly want out of this game? I think we would have exhausted it by then. But I will acknowledge the fact that Heisuke is in demand, but I can't say I'm the most overly attached to him as a character. I mainly just like the plush that you keep tweeting at me, to be honest. I think it's funny that anyone would buy Hakuoki merch off the back of me streaming it, but then also I've just found out that Trobal got a friggin' Nendoroid of Soji Okita, and I think I want one of them, to be honest, because that's the Inazuma 11 man that got me into it in the first place. Please let me know, chat, whether I should be saying no or why in this given situation. I'm sure his route does have Kazama in it. Kazuma Mishima wins. We'll see what the demand is like for a third route, but I'm not sure I can milk this game forever, because I think there are a few other games that I would like to play on stream, to be fair. In particular, I don't want to make any promises I can't keep, but I finally bought Yokai Watch 3 about 2 months ago, which is the only mainline Yokai Watch I've never played. I think that would make a really fun game to play on stream, because it's still Yokai. It's level 5. It's level 5 aligning. It's Inazuma aligning. We have 1 vote in chat for why from third person. Let's get some more opinions before we move on. I think Yokai Watch 3 would make a great stream game, to be honest, because I don't know anything about it other than that it exists and that I own it. But streams will probably have to go on the back burner until after I've moved house. This will be either the last one or the penultimate one I get to make. Hello, Leafar Blade. Still kind of stuck at this option select because we don't have a clear consensus yet. I know that we're chasing the Okita ending deliberately, so we're totally at peace with picking what's quote unquote the correct option for getting the right Okita ending. But maybe the person who knows that stuff off by heart in chat is not here today or something. So just Dex is saying why. I don't even know the context of the question, to be honest. Let me read what he was. So he says, you shouldn't get involved with a guy like me. What am I supposed to say to that? We either say no or why, and I think both of those would lead to the same things. Anyway, we've got a new face in Brewis Ginley from the Australian division of the Trobal Nation, apparently. I didn't know that he had an Australian division. What kind of time is it for you? Is it, I guess, roughly 7 a.m.? I guess we're going to go with Y by a virtue of 2-0. Let's hope we haven't messed that up. But I will save and then press it. I guess that's why you're asking me for my opinions on Australia. But, I mean, I only went like 2 or 3 months ago. I'm sure you're all quite clearly aware of me going there. iChug is also claiming to be Australian division. Since when did I have anyone watch 4:45 a.m? Are you kidding me? Did you wake up just for this, or have you just not been to sleep yet? I do understand the vibe, generally speaking, of when you're in Australia, you do kind of have to bend your own sleeping pattern around the rest of the world just to be able to talk to anyone. I was quite fortunately waking up pretty early whenever I was in Melbourne anyway, just to get the most out of the day, so I wasn't completely out of touch with all of my buddies. I know that I had one viewer, either on Twitter or on YouTube, say that they actually live really close to the 100 Steps of Federation and they wanted to kind of recreate my video there at some point. So I really hope that does happen one day, because that will be an instant retweet. Anybody who goes down to that kind of area in Australia and kind of copies my videos. But look, this isn't just about what happened. I should have said something a long time ago. Go on then, Soji. What's your big secret? Oh, my 3DS is on flashing red battery. Nice girls like you shouldn't have anything to do with guys like me. He called me a nice girl. Oh, I'm swooning. He's so nice. Because the only thing I know how to do is kill and revive yourself, apparently. Oh, the video's done, apparently, for the 100 steps. Hop Up and Joya says the video's done, we just need the thumbnail. It's not like I made a thumbnail for mine, is it? I literally uploaded it directly from my phone while I was there, and the thumbnail ended up being completely shocking, to be fair, but I didn't think the video warranted any more than that, to be honest. What could a weapon even offer anyone but death? You could offer your aura so that we can save football. We could save the future from the hyper-evolved children if we just borrow your powers, and it will make us able to shoot the Chrysanthemum Katana, and we'll be the best. But yeah, no, if I didn't realise, to be fair, that the Australian Trobal stands and the people who promised a copy of the 100 Steps of Federation video were in fact the same people, but I'm definitely looking forward to that. Carbon Kiddo swings by for a little minute just to say, would love to watch, but I'm at work. Take the engagement boosting like, and I'll go. Thanks, Kiddo. We still appreciate it. Well, thanks, Carbon, I guess would be more appropriate than just calling you Jude. Hello, Jude, and goodbye, Jude. It was nice. Yeah, to be fair, I kind of figured that this would maybe be a day where people were busy, which is why I asked in the tweet in the first place. And if not enough people were available, then I just wouldn't have done it. Because I've still got packing to do for my robot tournament this weekend anyway. By all means, I shouldn't be streaming, but I really wanted to because I haven't played this in a few weeks. And Ryoma Sakamoto mentioned, those better informed knew that the situation with the Satsuma and Choshu domains had changed, and that the assassination of Ryoma Sakamoto had been part of a much larger plan. I'm going to let the dialogue play itself out whilst I just go and grab a 3DS charger for a sec. Give me a moment. But this is just Dex's first time tuning into you playing. This is Canon to Inazuma 11. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is the third dedicated stream for Hakuoki, but it's also like the 5th time altogether that we've played it on stream. So it's kind of hard to do at this point, but we do have 16 people watching along, which is always a pleasure to know that people are interested. But yeah, Ryoma Sakamoto was assassinated, so if you didn't know about that from the previous time we learned it in this game, yeah, that's like an unavoidable part of the game. Even if we picked like the best ideal timeline, because Ryoma is the natural enemy of the Shinsengumi, he dies guaranteed in every single outcome. Oh, I'm causing carnage. I don't know how much of that was visible. My Rhyperia plush fell off, along with something else. We'll find that on the floor later. Room's obviously a bit of a mess because I'm trying to move out. Oh, it's Sanan. Hello, Sanan. So this is the guy where we kind of turned on him because he was the first to give in to obsession and turn into a hyper-evolved child. But now we're trying to date someone who's done the same thing. Like we're chasing after Soji Okita, and he's already done the same thing, so maybe I should actually just be having this San Pelli instead. That's the real route. We're not actually playing the Soji Okita route at all today. We're playing the San Pellegrino route, where my one true love of San Pellegrino is in fact who we end up with. Here is our end of game scene where I drink it. However, Sanan's being creepy, so I do need to listen to it after he's jump scared everyone. I'm Sanan, also known as Simian Ape. You're a demon. So this is where we find out in this timeline. We previously found out through Kazama, but also later through, in more detail, through the main character's brother. But here in this route, Sanan Bad Guy is telling us. We'll just catch up on the chat. Seeing more from iChug, but I guess I should be saying that differently now that I know that you're Australian. It's more of an iChug. You got to put the emphasis on the I, because the guy whose wedding I went to in Melbourne, I always learned how to say my name differently. It's friggin' Breton! Hey up, Breton boy! I've never seen you directly in one of the streams before. Chat, if you're not familiar, Breton boy hitting it big in the nerdcore rap world. He's got like 3 times the amount of subscribers I have, maybe 4 times as much at this point. But he's secretly just a massive Inazuma 11 fan. So everyone's got to get their Inazuma fix somewhere. I nearly met him last weekend at the Sonic Symphony. I ended up not being able to go to the Sonic Symphony because it was going to clash with the reveal day for Inazuma 11 Victory Road's new trailer, so I just needed to be at home on the content grind. But somebody put tickets aside for me. I could have gone if it didn't clash with Inazuma Content Day, but Alex Greensmith, one of the friends of the channel who appears in my multiplayer stuff and a lot of my tweets, he went to the Sonic Symphony, and I wish I was able to set it up so that Breton and Alex could have met, because those are 2 big Inazuma friends of mine who were at the same thing, but I just completely forgot to message Breton. And Alex, I think, sent him a text, but it got missed. Even a lot of my Smash Brothers buddies were going there as well. That was why I had the ticket put aside in the first place. My co-commentator buddy Hob Hunks was going to get me in. Basically, loads of my mates went to Sonic Symphony, and I really, really considered it. But as soon as I knew that it was like the big reveal day for Inazuma Victory Road, it couldn't happen. And now Sanan is going to try and kill me once again. Have we actually seen this particular scene before? It does remind me, actually, of the last time he backed us into a corner within this bedroom of ours. But we obviously need Okita to come in and save us. I'm not going to kill you or anything, he says with a grin and his red eyes. What I was saying before to the Australians in chat. No, he's so close. I don't want to see this. My real name is Isaac, which apparently isn't a very common name in Australia, even if it kind of is in the UK these days. But whenever my Australian mate would call me by my name, instead of calling me Tail, he usually calls me Toast, because that's closer to my wiki identity, so I'm the toast part of Tale of the Toaster. But whenever he used my name, it's not Isaac, it's Isaac. It's like lowercase I, capital Z kind of thing is the best way I would say it, but Isaac. And I thought that was just him, but no, when I went to Australia, everyone was saying it like Isaac. And it kind of changed my life, to be honest. So I'll often slip into the Australian voice just to kind of say myself is Isaac. But no, it's Hijikata coming to save us from Sanon instead. So we do have a few new members in chat at the moment. So I think basically what I just needed to clarify for anyone who's not seen this game before, this is called Hakuoki. It's what they call an otome game, which essentially means it's a dating sim specifically for blokes and often based on real characters, and they can get turned into animes like this did. There is a Hakuoki film and a Hakuoki anime series. We are playing this because it's set in the Shinsengumi arc, which Inazuma 11 Go Chrono Stone did. Victor Blade's Miximax was with Soji Okita, and we are currently going down the Soji Okita dating route within this stream. This game also has Ozrock's voice actor in it, which is what we spent most of the previous streams chasing after, just to hear him talk. So we're just playing it for a giggle and learn about the true backstory of Soji Okita from a game that's actually about Shinsengumi instead of a game that's about football. But instead what we learned is that they all drink the S gene to hyper evolve and make them immortal, and their hair turns white and they all turn ruthless at night time and stuff like that. Janus says, I play otames like I listen to Sidemen diss tracks. Did you know that one of my housemates was in a Sidemen video once? I was meant to be in that video as well, and then there wasn't enough room in the car, which is just a bit sad. It'll obviously... That seems like a really random one to throw out offhand. Like, how the hell were you nearly in a Sidemen video, TaleOfTheToaster? But it all makes sense when you realise the Sidemen video it was Sidemen Extreme Robot Wars. Essentially, the people who built the robots in the Sidemen Robot Wars video are all really good mates of mine. One of them I currently live with for the next month. That won't be true as of next month, technically, because I'll be getting my own place. But yeah, and so one of them had a speaking role in the video. That's my mate Andy. And then my housemate Adam was kind of visible in it for 2 seconds alongside a good mate of mine called Ed. They were all kind of incidentally on screen. They weren't meant to be a part of it, but my buddy Andy, he was a big speaking role of it. And yeah, I had no role in building the robots, but I just wanted to go with them because I wanted to meet the Sidemen, but it wasn't feasible. We had to fit the main 2 people and the robots in the car, so there was just no way I could have squeezed in without getting my own train to mystery location. And then at that point, if I turn up on my own, I didn't actually have a reason to be there. Clearly the video went off without a hitch, without my help. I wouldn't really have been helping at all. I would have just been there entirely for my own benefit. But yeah, that's the tail path to the Sidemen. It's me to Andy to all of them. So there you go, but maybe another time, eh? I don't think they're going to make another Robot Wars video. I think it was a bit of a flop for them financially, to be fair, but you never know. And yeah, the Australians in chat saying, well, Brewis says, only met one Isaac, which is fair enough. I guess it just doesn't blend with the accent, and that's the only real explanation we've got. But obviously, anyone who makes a donation in chat, I will think about you and therefore my mate Andy will think about you, and therefore the Sidemen will be aware of your existence. Psychically, you know. It essentially means if my path to the Sidemen is me to Andy to the Sidemen, then all donators in chat will have a path of 4. It'll be them to me to Andy to Sidemen. That's how it works. Did that convince anyone? Yes, Tale is so humble by trying to collab with such a small channel like the Sidemen, says third person. Oh, thank you, Chug, for saying the Australian accent's accurate. I mean, bless him, I've known my Australian mate for about 6 or 7 years now, and we can't repeat what he says without doing it as an impression. It's just too tempting. And obviously he's got like an impression of me. Oh, he just has to sound really bored. I'm TaleOfTheToaster and I like Inazuma 11 and football. Lord Rinsler did in fact chuck in 2 quid and says, you think about me all the time, don't lie. Well, there you go. You've now been acknowledged by the Sidemen. Well done, Lord Rinsler. It's hard not to think when you've been the main donor in chat, to be fair, so cheers. But, facts, third person. It's so nice of him to want to help a smaller channel like the Sidemen, says Jadis Greenway. Did you know I've also met you know what, actually, never mind. I was gonna leak a bit of an industry secret there, but no, maybe that would be giving away a bit too much, actually. So I won't tell you the circumstance of how, but another big name that my hobbies kind of keep me loosely in touch with would be Asa Butterfield, the guy who played Otis in Sex Education, and was also in that really popular film about escaping a concentration camp, Benjamin thing. Completely forgot what it's called, but there you go. That's a celebrity connection that TaleOfTheToaster has going on. But Breton says we do need to meet though at some point, and I agree. Like, even if Sonic Symphony wasn't the one, it can happen at any time, really. Because I'm sure you'll probably end up in Newcastle for some reason or another, and if not, I'm obviously not going to leak your location live on stream. But I know you told me where you used to live when I asked a few years ago. I don't know if you still live there now, but if you were in the same place, then it's still pretty damn close to me mum. So it's always feasible. But I'd love to make that meetup a reality, because you're touring about the place. You know, back when I first got to know Breton, he had big numbers, but he was just making the songs from his room kind of thing. Whereas now he's being on like panels and live collabs and performances over in America and stuff. So I apologise to you that this stream hasn't been very Inazuma 11 so far, but essentially this is now the 5th Hakuoki stream, so most of the people who come to these are kind of connected to Hakuoki in its own right, without me needing to make a load of Inazuma 11 jokes to make it relevant. I still make Inazuma jokes whenever Soji Okita is on stream, or whenever Ozrock's voice actor is on stream, but when we're in between, I kind of just let it rock, and people like it, because I mean, one particular group, I keep saying, has they watched the whole anime, bought the Nendoroid, bought the plush, and bought the game off the back of it. Breton says there's an anime con in October in Newcastle that he would have been going to if he wasn't super busy. That's next month. I didn't even know about that. I might have to go myself. Because something I keep mentioning with this chat as well is, Breton, do you know about SunnyCon? Because SunnyCon is every July in Newcastle. They host it in the football stadium. And I went there this year in Inazuma cosplay and kind of got recognised by a few people who were Inazuma 11 fans for it. And apparently a lot of the people in chat are hoping to go to SunnyCon next year, and I certainly will be doing, because it's literally at my doorstep. So I'll be there in Inazuma cosplay, and a few of the people in chat will be as well. And I'm trying to talk TXM into it. It seems like it's a no, but yeah, Breton, definitely have a look up of SunnyCon, because you'll have loads of notice. That won't be until like mid next year, but we're genuinely doing like a little Inazuma mini meet. I've already got maybe 8 or 9 people interested, I would say. So you'd be a great one to have there, to be honest. You can stay at my house if you want, Breton in particular. That offer doesn't extend to the rest of people in chat, sorry, but to Breton it does. Because I'll have my own house in Newcastle then, and that will be sick. The rest of chat's just trying to get me to look at somebody's cooking on Twitter, and oh well, I don't think I'm really in the right place to judge, to be fair, because my cooking is horrendous. But fine, we'll have a quick peek. I don't see it. Well, you must have tried, but yeah, definitely make a note of that one, Breton, because that's looking to be pretty much the biggest Inazuma 11 offline event ever in the UK, just by virtue of being more than 5 people. So that would be awesome. Jane is asking me to show the bad cooking on stream. Mate, they haven't even sent it to me. They're just talking about it. I've checked my notifications. There's nothing to do with it. Third person says, I'm surprised there hasn't been an Inazuma 11 convention at this point. There kind of has been. France were looking to set one up last year, but it kind of fell apart financially and maybe a couple of other reasons as well. But nevertheless, there was a big Inatubers meetup in Spain late last year. Earlier this year, I think it was, actually. Like, I saw the pics from Inazuma 11 Perfect pics. They had about 30 plus people, and they were all just there to chat Inazuma in person, and that looked awesome, to be honest. I maybe would have considered going if I knew about it a bit further in advance, but I think my inherent lack of being able to speak Spanish was probably a handicap there. But by the same token, I am going to a Spanish-speaking country in November. I'm going to Costa Rica, which has kind of come out of nowhere. I can't really say why yet, technically, but also I don't think it's that big a deal to you lot anyway. It's because it's not under Inazuma. Essentially, I'm doing some Smash Brothers commentary in Costa Rica at the start of November, and I haven't talked about it on Twitter yet because they're waiting to do their own little announcement of it, so kind of keep it to yourselves for now. It's not like mega secret. If it like had to stay secret, then I wouldn't be telling yous, but by the same token, I'm not doing any announcements of my own until they have kind of made the announcement first. I've sent them a whole load of pretty pictures that they can use in their reveal graphic to say they're having a UK commentator at their Costa Rican Smashy Brothers tournament, which should be pretty awesome. Oh, bollocks. We've got Mr. Slapnuts in chat. I didn't realise that anyone from the Smash Brothers community would be here, but Mr. Slapnuts, well, if we've said that, then we might as well say Archug's full name as well. But yeah, maybe if you in particular, Mr. Slap, could not, you can have that one in confidence. But yeah, it's like it doesn't matter when you tell people who aren't Smashy Brothers tournament watchers anyway. But for people who are Smashy Brothers tournament commentators, possibly keep that one to yourself. But I think they're probably going to reveal it within the next week or two anyway, and then I get to brag from the high heavens that I'm going on a 16-hour flight to Costa Rica to commentate a Smash Brothers Invitational. We have a choice here, chat. We have the choice between I'll stay here and I want to help. The context here is, do we go and help Hijikata somewhere, or do we not? Either way, we want the option that will give us more of Soji Okita, so we can make this a little bit more about Inazuma 11. So if my cheaters in chat can look up the correct option, I think it's probably I'll stay here, based on the fact it's green. It is indeed. We got confirmation from Ray and Trobel. I can actually just commit to calling you Ray in this stream instead of Hoppit, because the other Ray is not here. So for one stream only, you can have your name instead. But it won't last. Muwahahaha. Mr. Slapnuts is blackmailing me in chat, saying, admit JP is the best Inazuma 11 character or I will leak the Costa Rica information. I'm calling your bluff. You are not getting those words out of me, and you're not leaking my reveal either. Try me. Baby. Third person says, I'm about to become a Smash Brothers commentator to leak the information. Why did I tell yous all again? I could have very easily just not said that I'm going to Costa Rica for a Smash Brothers tournament, but like, I'm just excited because I only booked it last week, and I've not really been able to tell people yet, because most of the people I chat with offline are in Smashy Brothers settings, who by de facto cannot know about it yet. Is this going to advance the dialogue or what? I've got it. I guess I don't have it on auto, but let's just pick up the pace a little bit, because we've been playing for a while now without doing anything. Ah, you. The guy with the most defined abs in the world, and yet they still look so flat. You know what I mean? It's like if you pushed against them, it would it feel like a chopping board kind of thing. He looks so flat, but I know that he could decimate us anyway. I've now got Mr. Slapnut saying he's drafted a tweet, and I have to admit JP is the best character, otherwise he tweets it out. Let's have a look at his tweet, shall we? Are you going to show us the draft? You've got to blackmail properly, at least. You've got to show us exactly what's allegedly going on Twitter.com before we even consider giving in to your demands about Jean-Pierre. For real though, why did you not say a word until I started leaking Smashy Bros reveals? Like, did you literally arrive just in time to hear exactly that information, or have you been lurking on purpose to get some kind of dirt so that you could get me to praise JP? Also, I was sent a picture of the cooking by that lot. I guess I'll drag it across for 1 second, but to be honest, it's not going to get the reaction that you were hoping for, because, like, yeah, it doesn't look that, like, appetizing, but it's not finished yet. And at the end of the day, what's being cooked is a massive pile of chicken, and that's a huge guilty pleasure of mine. I can think of very few meals I enjoy more than just a pile of chicken. Because I've got some Nando sauce at home. I can make my own peppercorn sauce. Chuck in some microwave fries, which would not be in that picture because they would be going in the microwave and not on the pan. And then that's a good meal. It doesn't look very presentable, but I know that it would hit diff. So, Yeah, you got it, Mr. Slap. That looks scrumptious, not gonna lie. Mate, whoever you were trying to embarrass with that picture, I rate him. Because when I was a uni student, I sure as hell wasn't cooking entire pans worth of chicken. I was just having pot noodles and super noodles and going to Mackey's. I didn't cook. I occasionally made pasta, and I once did it so badly that I stuck it to the bottom of the pan and burnt it. That's something else that my Australian mate takes the piss out of me for. When I went to his wedding, it was the second time I'd ever met him, but the first time was when I burnt pasta trying to feed him, and he's never let me live that down. He was literally telling other people at the wedding, on his wedding day, he was telling people, Isaac is the only person that I know who's managed to burn pasta. He literally tried to cook pasta for me and did it so horrendously that it stuck to the pan and caught fire. But yeah. Oh, there's Mr. Slapnuts' blackmail. So this is what he's been sending me. You know what? That's probably not a good... Oh, I've moved the wrong thing. Because that's got the first message of me other DMs in there as well. Let's open that in another tab. There doesn't appear to be anything untoward in my other DMs, but it's like some of it is about the Costa Rica tournament, so that's kind of like defeating the purpose. Yeah, insider information to any Tale of the Toaster fans who will be commentating a tournament in Costa Rica in November. Well, you've at least got to put a joke in there. That seems like the most serious blackmailing you could come up with. Anyway, vote with your wallets in chat. Do I give in to this horrible man's demands and say something nice about JP, or do I run the risk of this terrible, terrible guy leaking my secrets to his Twitter audience of 20 followers? Still don't have any Soji Okita yet, but I guess we've got to space out his appearances. They're trying to tell me that the cooking that I was looking at, they don't use any sauces, but I don't use any sauces while it's in the pan. Like if I'm cooking steak or chicken, I'll just cook it vanilla over the oven, and then it's after it goes on the plate that I add the sauce. And if this person doesn't add any sauce to it, then yeah, that's a bit weird. But like, even if they don't, you know, I've got a friend, Soup Lexi, who did a really good series of Inazuma 11 streams once, by the way, and is slowly working on a highlights video. If he ever streams Inazuma 11 too, I'll be sure to let you know, because he's really funny with it. But his dining habits, that man will have unseasoned pasta. No, like, sauceless pasta. And sometimes he'll have it cold. It's like, at least the chicken's chicken. It's not like, you know, chicken can only be so bad. It's still meat at the end of the day. It makes you feel alive. Dry pasta? I have no defence. I have no rebuttal. I definitely know somebody else who would get away with just having a loaf of bread for lunch as well, but we can't be telling you who that is. The Shinsengumi might be on its way out if you can't forgive what they're doing, they're saying. So who was the one cooking the chicken anyway? Who are we trying to blame? The nutrients, though. Nobody needs sauce, says Mr. Slap. I agree with the first half. You do kind of need sauce, but, like, it's not the worst thing in the world. What else have we been saying? Ted Brower's on about the football scores. When's the next Newcastle match? Anyway, I know that they went 0-0 with Milan. despite otherwise getting absolutely dominated. So we'll take it. Because the chicken was defrosted from the freezer and he didn't drain the juice. Yeah, you just drain it when you put it on the plate then. This isn't unsavable. You are so mean to your friends. I read that as Harada. What do you think about the furries? Oh no. What do you think about the fandom? Will you be going to any conventions in the next few weeks? No, they're on about the Furies, the hyper-evolved children. They're on about Heisuke. Isn't that the one that Rinsler stands and paid £2 to try and incentivise me to do his route? But it's also like, what is the appeal of Heisuke? He seems like the comic relief type guy. But then you're not meant to romance the comic relief guy. But he's an option. But he looks so pathetic. And I guess maybe that's the point. Clearly, pathetic guys need to have some fans out there. Otherwise, I'd never have a girlfriend ever again. But, like, you know, I don't want to see myself in an Otome character. Jada says, what do you think about the furries though, Tale? They're generally nice people. They need to be left alone. Like, most of the furries I know were not openly furries at the time of me getting to know them. So it's one where I kind of, you know, I wasn't getting to know people in the fandom. It's more people I know joined the fandom. So you can't think badly, can you? I hope we're getting some custom art of Harada and his whiteboard abs that you could write on, because they would not divert your angle. So I answered the question about furries immediately, and yet Mr. Slapnuts has probably reached the chat quicker than my message did, because there's such a delay between my words and it reaching the stream audience, and now Slapman is literally lying about an IRL interaction we've had. Imagine this guy meets me at Smash Brothers tournaments, begs me to follow him on Twitter, and I eventually cave after he helped me train my Mii Gunner at a tournament. And now all he's done ever since I've let down my guard and given him what he wanted is blackmail and lie about me. What is this dude? I even gave him some life advice over a few drinks and he promptly ignored them entirely. And that's no lie. Hakuoki then. So long as you were alive, there was hope. But what could there be for the furries? Were they even truly alive? No, not that, Rinsler. Saying all I need to do to get a Twitter follow is beg. No, this guy was begging in person. That hits very differently. Begging online for a follow does the opposite effect. It's incredibly ineffective at getting what you want, as it turns out. The IRL beg is a much more powerful tool, however. At the end of the day, Mr. Slapnuts is a relatively good commentator. He loves Smash Brothers and he loves Inazuma 11. And he bought me a drink. So eventually it added up enough. I couldn't overlook his plight any further. And he's calling me a liar anyway. I could always unfollow, you know. This guy trying to blackmail me. I've got a much stronger blackmail on him, to be fair. If I unfollowed Mr. Slapnuts on Twitter.com, it would break his heart. I think he would actually shed a tear. So, think about that one. Ted Brow is still looking up the football. We've got Ajax and Olympique Marseille. Well, if it's not Newcastle, then I don't know what more I could add. For now, all I could see was the surface. Far below in his heart churned passion, concern, and fear. But also, like, who is this guy? Is he even one of the options? Stop autoing so I can, like... Yeah, no, that's him. We've got absolutely zero romance with him, and we're not looking to increase that. Oh, Okita. He's so far gone. Oh, yeah, he died as well. Well, that's not very good, is it? So at least these guys are happy days for now, but unfortunately that's the one we're after. I don't know why his corruption meter is at the bottom. Because, oh, you only have a corruption meter once you've died anyway, so I guess that's the explanation. So we carry on. Let's just try and blast through it a bit, because we haven't really kept up to date with Harada's backstory whatsoever, to be fair, and he doesn't even have any big stands in chat, apart from Ray, I guess, but Ray's got a character that she cares more about anyway, so you can't stand two characters, I say, while going down the Okita and Ozrock routes at the same time. Let's save, shall we? That's a good idea. Dark Side Ozrock ending. Now that might be something I continue streaming this game for. Hold up. As we make it to chapter 4. And there's my guy once again in the image. So we got very little Okita within that part of chapter 3. He was only there right at the start, and it was so early in the stream I wasn't even ready to start reading the dialogue, to be fair. But Osaka mentioned. There you go. Inazuma characters. Inazuma location mentioned. Do we go to Ehime? Do we go to Fukuoka? I mean, Nagasaki counts as an Inazuma location now, thanks to Victory Road. Didn't see that one coming. There he is. That's your little Stan. They don't have very many men. We'll be fine. No, not you. What are you even doing here? Now this guy, however, he's outside in his blue robes. He's all the more Inazuma. They have Western weapons, Western tactics. You mean guns? How dangerous could foreign weapons be? Mate, don't ask that. You don't want to know. Let's just solve this with football, not with violence. Janus, you are kidding, right? With that message? You can't mean that question, surely. I'm not going to justify that with a response, to be honest. Because there's just no happy way to answer that. Right, so Skinny Legend is going to go and follow Sanan to make sure that Baddie Bad Guy doesn't do anything messed up. So Skinny Legend is going to be taking his leave, and then we're going to be on our own with Okita, right? Please? Here we go. Now with a yo-ho-ho, it's TaleOfTheToaster. Welcome back to Let's Play Inazuma 11 Go Chrono Stones Thunder Flash. We are in the Okita world once again. Let us get his Miximax. Does it hurt anywhere? Do you feel sick? Oh no, don't say that. Yeah, we were trying to ask if he was getting a bit bloodthirsty with his new little identity. But no, he hasn't felt any impulse to start feasting on blood yet, but he will, because he's already far gone. And there's no saving him. So this sucks, because I'm going down his route. We knew the only way we could keep him alive and have a route with him was for him to overcome his dyingness. But I'd rather him die than be like this. Because now for the next 200 years or whatever, he's going to be an unkillable, ravaging beast. Which sucks. Yeah, you decided to drink the water of life, but you were wrong. How are we meant to be all romantic and stuff when all of our conversations is me criticising you for your rubbish decision? And he, of course, didn't do it for me anyway. But yeah, he's unill. Oh, exaggerated nonchalance. Good word choice. He feels great, so they say. I'm pretty happy my tuberculosis is gone. Well, I'm not. Get it back. That's the only thing I know about you other than you playing football. No, we did play this to learn more about him aside from dying. It's just a shame that in order for him to not die, he has to be immortal instead. But we'll try to put that to one side and go from here. Yeah, we need to get on with helping the Shinsengumi anyway, don't we? Don't call us a kid. Otherwise we can't justifiably go down your route now, can we? He's trying to get rid of us. The friggin' cheek! Still worrying about him anyway, but you don't have to. If he dies, he can just come back. Ted asks, how would you rank all Inazuma teams based on how much I would like to join them? That's a hell of a question. I mean, I can't rank them all, obviously, otherwise we'd be here all night. But what team would I actually like to be in? I feel like Okinawa would be a very fun lifestyle, just as long as they actually enter the football frontier at some point. Ryman would get me the most exposure to the world and possibly a one-way ticket to Inazuma National, but also I'd, by involvement with them, also be at the biggest risk of like a terrorist attack or something. All the good stuff happens to Ryman, but all the bad stuff happens to Ryman as well. I might just be a Steve Grimm in hospital if I pick Ryman. So, if I went to Alpine, I'd be very cold every day. I don't know if I could live in Hokkaido forever, but if I just lived there for like a year or two, that would be a really nice way to live because it's so beautiful. And I could still be mates with Sean and Roland Kleinstein and Bootgeiter and all of those. Maybe Bunny's dad can give me a good job. Oh, blood soaking his sleeve? Who's... Right, hold on. Is it Isami Kondo that's been hurt? Oh no! That's an Inazuma character, Isami Kondo. And he's had his arm sliced. We know that he eventually died in the Ozrock route, but that was a route where pretty much everyone died, so... Shimata! So we can't see his injury here in the picture, but oh no, that's not him. Obviously, if I could just be on Knights of Queen, then I can just keep my normal lifestyle, but I think we were assuming from the within Japan teams rather than the international ones. Being on Otaku would be funny. I'd clearly have a lot of mates in that, if nothing else. If I go to Merry Times, can I join the Rhythmic Gymnastics Club with Charisse? I bet I'd be great at rhythmic gymnastics, you know. I can't quite do the splits, but we can do most of the stuff. What's going on? He's wearing a scowl and clothes that looked as if they'd just been thrown on or slept in, or both. That sounds like me. Not even I sleep that deep. Mate, are you calling a competition? I've literally slept through an earthquake before, and that is a true fact about Tale of the Toaster. You're not a fury, but you're a demon. Janus wants to be on Ragnar so that he can be hyper-evolved. So what he's essentially telling us is that he wants to die at the age of about 17? Interesting perspective on life. Kondo was shot. He is alive, isn't he? Oh, this one's getting to Okita badly, isn't it? He's sticking out for his fellow Inazuma 11 official canon character. You only sent 3 men with him? We don't have that many, to be fair. Good bit of voice acting from him there, though, to be fair. Is the game audio loud enough for you, actually? I haven't really checked that, but it could clearly be a fair bit more. Millennium Eye says, Tail Subman, can you speak any Dutch for the Dutch Inazuma fans? Verhaal inspelschitter en voetbal. Inazuma, vechter en tul. Is that right? Dit is niet normaal meer. And then I'm done. Well, I guess there's the famous quote from Dutch Robot Wars. And the winner is lizard! Where the only word that changes is winner to winnaar. Oh, well, Ted Brower's given me another one to read. Ik kan je daarmee helpen. How do you say J-E? Is it yeah or J or something else? Ik kan je daarmee helpen. I finally know to say may instead of me, at least. Janus Greenway, you might want to reread what you've just said there. I mean, that's just low-key a little bit unacceptable to say in a place where people can read your words. I don't know, maybe have a rethink on that one. Especially in a chat where there are actually some girls who might read what you've just said. Self-awareness for a second, mate. We are listening to that back immediately, Hijikata. That's a bit of good voice work which you haven't acknowledged from him yet. Hello, Hijikata. He might be the 3rd best character in the game. It's not Hijikata's fault, it's yours. No, Kondo only wanted these two in particular to be his escort. So blame those two. Now blame Isami Kondo himself, clearly.
銃から人を守るのは簡単じゃない。島田さんは悪くありませんよ。近藤さんを危険にさらしたのは少人数での外出を許した土方さんです。近藤さんの希望だっていうのも。
I'm finding it a little hard to believe that was really what Kondo wanted to do. Oh, Okita is throwing accusations at Hijikata. My fellas are gonna fall out. Kondo-sama. Well, clearly, Okita, your accusation was wrong, but if he dies, it's your ass in the fire, Hijikata. And the commander said nothing. Yeah, oh dear. Now we're just falling out for the sake of falling out, aren't we? But anyway, he's not... They haven't said that he's dead. They just haven't not said that he's not dead. Hoppip saying, pretty sure you can get battered Mars bars in Newcastle. Not as far as I've seen. I usually get one when I'm in Glasgow. I do like them, not going to lie. But I have never ever seen one for sale in Newcastle. And if you can get them in Newcastle, then I would want to know where. Because I would go and get one. I will have a chance, maybe. The first weekend of December, I am going to Dundee. Which is exciting, because the furthest I've ever been in Scotland is Glasgow. So I've been to Glasgow and the nearby town of Paisley 4 times. The first 3 times were for the filming of Robot Wars, and then the 4th time was earlier this year, just purely for the sake of going back to where they filmed Robot Wars for the memories, like 5 years later. I really enjoy it up in Scotland, but I've only ever been to those bits, and also a random little day trip to Gretna Green, where the whole novelty is just you're in Scotland by the skin of your teeth. I mean, obviously it's like famous for its getaway weddings, but it only became famous for its getaway weddings because it's the southernmost town within Scotland, and therefore the easiest one to elope to in the past, back when you needed your parents' permission to get married and you couldn't just book an Uber or a flight. You had to go by horseback and travel up the whole country for your own illegal wedding. Well, not illegal, because obviously in England you can't get married until you're 18. In Scotland you can get married at 16. I don't think that's the case anymore, but it was the case back in the olden days, and that's why Gretna Green became like a famous wedding venue for eloping people, and they would like marry you over an anvil with some fire. And it was a cool thing. So I did a day trip there, but other than that, I've only ever been to Scotland for Glasgow and Paisley. But yeah, first weekend of Scotland, I'm going to Dundee, which is exciting because I might get to go to St Andrews, is it? Around that area. Again, I'm going on a pretense of Smash Brothers tournament, but I think you can kind of tell from what I've said about Costa Rica and America and Dundee. I just kind of use commentating Smash as an excuse to go to somewhere. It means I have a basic incentive for why I'm there, and then I can sometimes blag free housing off of Smash Brothers liking friends. But then I'll spend most of my time just looking around the area and being a tourist instead. And I'll do the same in Costa Rica, and I'll do the same in Dundee. But, yeah, it's by far the furthest I'll have ever been in Scotland. because I've never even been to Edinburgh. Like, I've been through it on a train multiple times. There was one time I even ended up in Edinburgh train station by mistake and had to go back. I was trying to get to Sheffield, which is quite a hard mistake to make. So that was my only quote-unquote day trip to Edinburgh, but I still didn't leave the station. Millennium Eye, yes, we all laugh at the funny Smash Brothers players stink stereotype. Ha ha ha, very funny. That's your answer. You know, it was funny for the first 5 years now, maybe. But it's gone on long enough. And yes, it can still happen. But whenever it does still happen, the Smash Brothers players will be the first people to dunk on the venue for it. Or anyone who's a particular culprit. At the end of the day, on average, they are mostly fine. And Okita has been slain! Bruised in pieces! He's not even turned into Simeon yet. Myth asking if there's going to be crossplay for Victory Road between PS4 and Nintendo Switch. We don't know the answer to that yet, but I know that Megaton Musashi does have crossplay between PS4 and Nintendo Switch, so it's possible, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. But yeah, I will get a deep fried Mars bar in Dundee and have a look around the general area, and hopefully I'll keep doing some more Scotland trips now that I'm committing to buying and living in Newcastle long term, because it's a nice place, and I'll want to explore it properly. But Dundee will be the most north I've ever been in the UK. Whereas the most north I've ever been in the world would be Stockholm. Unless you count my airport transfer in Iceland, where I did not leave the airport. Ted Brower asks how long are you planning to continue streaming for? Probably no longer than 45 minutes. I would guess, maybe less. Like, I'm not fatigued or anything yet, but I do still need to pack my robot tonight before it gets too late. But I'm enjoying the game for now, so I'm not in a rush to quit. So he wanted to kill anyone who'd had a hand in the attack on Kondo, which is a bit of an exaggeration. Like, yeah, it's bad that Kondo, our commander from Inazuma 11 Go Chronostones, got shot. You don't need to go actively looking for revenge. Just, like, make sure he's okay, first of all. Let's, actually, how do I... No, not that. I'm just figuring out how to hide the dialogue box. No, not that. I know there's a way to hide the dialogue box so I can look at the art properly, and I've completely forgotten what it is. Oh, it's B. Why would it ever be B? Oh yeah, Ted's right. Are we going to talk about Victory Road? Yeah, I suppose after this Okita scene, we'll probably do that. For now, we have a choice, chat. What are we going to tell Soji Okita, the bloodstained man who is out for murder? Are we going to say, I want you to do the right thing, which he will misinterpret and go and kill people? Or do we say, this isn't what Kondo would want? Surely the second one is the right answer, right? I'll get confirmation from the people who've played the game, but I would take some serious convincing to not go for the bottom one, because it's both clearly the one that would work for his route and also just the one that I would personally agree with. But it's not. Trobel and Hoppip says it's the top one. The people with access to the guides. Well, that's the serious convincing, I suppose. That's not what I would have clicked if we weren't cheating. You said yourself it was your decision to drink the water of life. That this was the path you chose. To be a furry. To be a hyper-evolved child. Maybe I did. So? If you believe in the path you chose, then shouldn't you be trying to follow it the right way? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a weapon. All I can do is kill people. If you just think of yourself as a weapon, I think that's fine. What? Oh, I didn't, of course, but now is not the time to be debating. Right, fair enough. It's a lie. I think I understand how you feel. Kondo's really important to you. Sitting by his bedside isn't going to make him heal any faster. And protecting the magistrate's office isn't going to win the war no matter what you do. But please, don't lose sight of who you are. Because I still haven't Mixie-Maxed with you yet. Soji Chrysanthemum Katana! That's enough of that. Chizuru. You keep this up, I might really kill you this time. Yeah, mate, sure you will. I believe you. I won't move. I ain't going anywhere until I've got my Mixie-Max. If you really want to go, then you'll have to kill me first. Jade Green. Really getting into this. I should be doing it in the Jade accent, to be fair. If you really want to go, then you'll have to kill me first. You. There's his little romance moment. Why the hell did you do that? I'll just forget about you. There's a little over the top Liverpudlian now. You're nuts, you know that? And he's done. Now other people have to talk to us. Including Saito. Where's Kazama? We've had a little Okita moment. Now I want more Ozrock. Good. Kondo is fine. He will live. This is why Sanam was saying, what could Western weapons possibly do? Commander immediately gets shot. Frantic tweeting? That sounds like you guys. And we're off to the magistrate's office. Baka. Apparently Japanese people don't even say baka. Like, I was just watching a few videos by Sora the Troll about Japanese life and comedy about stereotypes and stuff. And apparently if you call someone a baka in Japan, they'll just laugh at you. But it always gets into anime and stuff. Which I could be misinformed about, but it sounds kind of funny that it's like media exclusive. Just don't think this means I forgive you. He did nothing wrong. I've got to let Hijikata have this one, to be honest, Okita. We're after you because you met Zanuck, but like, Hijikata's not in the wrong here. Or, alternatively, you could say he's in the wrong because he was successfully doing the right thing for the Shinsengumi, which, as we know, is actually a bad thing. We're on the side of the Shinsengumi, but they're not good people. Now, Janus Greenway says he's a big Sora the Troll fan, which is good as anybody else. I only discovered his channel a couple of weeks ago at most, but it's good stuff. I recommend the channel if you haven't already seen it, because every video is only like 5 minutes long, and all of his best content is like his newest stuff anyway. So it's pretty easy to find the peak stuff. I'd especially recommend the one about stereotypes about Japanese work and jobs, to know what is and isn't true. Wait, hang on, there's a joke I can make here if I can remember the word. Wait, here we go. Hayomai! That's a joke for one person only at the moment, but maybe I'll just intercept a random bit of dialogue with it. Are you worried? I'm glad he's taking care of it. He's kind of a weird guy, but he's a good doctor. Hayomai! You cannot call him a good doctor! He's a weird guy for sure, but praising him on his job? Unacceptable! Mukatana! He giggled about a joke I didn't get. If that's the line, immediately after I make a Sora the Troll joke for one person, the game calls me out on. Hayomai! Okay, well, that's it. We're back to the game. Oh, I was just about to start talking about Victory Road, and then I've heard a bloody gunshot. What's happened here? Come in. Oh, he's here as well. And you. Just get your throwaway lines in and then we'll run away. I could enjoy some more Heisuke lines if he wasn't dragging Sanan with him all the time, but Sanan, I think, the most universally disliked character in the Hakuoki series at this point. Laughing at the Chicago joke. God damn it. You got me. Have we found him? Ah, this is where I first watched them kill that loser in Chapter 1. Did you shoot Kondo? You're saying that to me? Mate. Oh. Oh no. You're here. Remember the last stream? Lol, lol, LeMayo. Yeah, I stand by that. You're a bit of an arse. Oh, I can call you bastard if you want. I can call you twattins. Would you like twathead? Because I think you deserve all of them. See you later, Mr. Slap. Whoosh! There's your little sayonara, and don't worry, I'm not unfollowing you. You don't have to cry. But Garu. Yeah, I was doubting in my mind whether he'd even come out as the brother in this route, or if that was only on the Ozrock one. But yes, no, it was earlier in this route. He had the "I'm a guy" plot twist. Actually, just genuinely taking it seriously and reading whenever this character is around, because we don't like him, but it's a real rarity when he appears, and it is a good design, I will admit. So I'll read through it. Janus Greenway's got to go as well, alongside Slapnuts. We're on 8 viewers at the moment, so we won't go too much further if everyone genuinely has to go, but I'll at least finish this scene with Kaoru. So it was my brother who shot Kondo. Gah. Only 3 guards while he was practically asking to be shot. Can you be unborn, please? We could just delete our dad from existence, because he was a bad guy as well. Like, he was the scariest of the friggin' hyper-evolved granddads. And then this loser brother of mine Might be even worse. I'm the only acceptable one here, to be honest, and if I didn't exist, they wouldn't be any... They'd be none the wiser. Like, all these Shinsengumi people would have one less crush in their life, but you can't miss what you don't know you would have ever had. So it's time to erase our entire family tree. Can we get Wonderbot and Faye in here so that we can go back in time and make it so all of these Nagumo losers were never born, please? Alternatively, Okita could just cut you in two. Could you, in fact, slice my brother into two equally sized pieces, please? Could Kazama cut my brother into 4 equally sized pieces? That would be nice if Kazama were to appear. Notice how I'm calling Ozrock by his actual character's name. That's how Ozrock deprived we are right now. We're begging him. More art, hello. Take a look at this. Ozrock's taken one in the arm, so he will live. It looks to be one in the left arm and one in the shoulder. But, well, you've already had the S gene once. You might as well have the S gene again and heal up. Just double down at that point. Please stand in front of me to take the blow. Jesus. Yep, sure enough, I also would have been better off not existing, because then they wouldn't have to get shot protecting me. Unfortunately, the only solution to the world of Hakuoki is for it to not exist. Unless it's Ozrock's timeline. If you get hurt, that makes me sad too. Okita! Does this guy have a Liverpool accent as well, if he's Jade Green's brother? What an idiot. Well, he did just what I expected him to. You were trying to shoot him the whole time, weren't you? Okita got hurt pretty bad because of you, didn't he? Things don't look good, I'm afraid. How unfortunate. You need to whoa. Bit over the top, lad. I won't kill you, either of you, so easily. I'm looking forward to our next meeting, dear sister. Damn you! It's so non-serious when I do all of this in a Liverpudlian accent, man. If you could just see your face, hear your voice, you sound like a proper Liverpool rotter. The more despair and anger you feel, the more you look like me. How could there be any doubt that we're brother and sister? Jesus. Well, there we go. We've left him. Carrying Okita back. The chat seems to have quietened up entirely, so I think unless we've got any last minute chat people want to go over, we'll probably end the stream very, very soon. Just do a quick check-in and see if anyone else is still around. But for now, we're getting the bullets out of my lovely Okita man. Dr. Matsumoto is going to take a look. Mate, if I were Okita, I'd give up. Ah, yeah, chapter 5. So let's get saved, and I think we will genuinely call it there, because there's not too many people left. But this has been a fun one, and I would say, now that the chapters get faster with every passing, like the further the chapters go, the shorter they get. So I think it's entirely possible that next stream potentially we might stand a chance of getting Chapter 5, 6 and 7 done in one go. At the very least, we should be able to get Chapter 5 done. So I think it should not be long before Hakuoki's first proper ending will be upon us. So let's just check in chat, see if there was anything people wanted to ask before we disappeared. The last thing we can really say about Victory Road is I'll be keeping an eye on the Tokyo Game Show stuff, of course, but keep your expectations low. I don't think we're getting a release date, and I wouldn't want to get a release date because I think any kind of release date that they give would be a bit disingenuous. They're slowing down development to make sure it comes out extra good, and we now have proof that that is paying off. The game looks great, so I would like them to take at least a couple more months on it. And I think in terms of anything else the Tokyo Game Show could reveal, nothing could be more significant than the trailer we had 2 days ago. I think we're quite spoilt already, and keep the expectations low, but I will still be keeping an eye on all the news, and if anything is worth making content about, then I of course will. Probably can't do much on Saturday because I'm going to a robot fighting tournament, but otherwise, happy days. Don't know when the next Hakuoki stream will be. Hopefully I can squeeze in one more before I have to move house, but not guaranteed. There won't be much going on in November when I'll be in Costa Rica, obviously. But, yeah. That's going to be it for now, then. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I will catch yous in another one. Although then again, this was an entirely Ozrock free stream, man. That is so upsetting. Not even a single mention of Ozrock as far as I could tell. We've really left him behind now. But yeah, toodle-ta-ra.